This is Earl Johnson leading off, and you can see they're bowling for $1,800. That's for fourth place. Fifth place is $1,600. Good way to start out. This is Jimmy Certain. His average is 241 on these two lanes for the 40 game. He hasn't had a win here on the PBA tours yet. His average in 67 was 208. He throws him down there, doesn't he?
He really does, Bud. We talk about a powerful new breed of bowlers. This is one of the strongest ball shooters, not only of the new breed, of the history of all-time bowling. He reminds me an awful lot of Junie McMahon. He can really crank it.
There he is in his bright green shirt. You're watching in color, and this is live. Jimmy Certain finished twice, second twice in 1967. Got them both. Good start for Jimmy Certain from Huntsville, Alabama. In the blue shirt now, stepping up is Earl Johnson, 6 feet, 170-pounder. He's averaged 236.
But I refer to him as affectionately called Twirly. He got this nickname in his younger days. He cranked the ball terrifically and used a big hook. Even though the boys might be cranking it somewhat today, they won't be using the big hook because the best path here was a sharp breaking hook between the second and third arrow.
Three in a row. What a start there for Earl Johnson. Jimmy's working on a two-bagger. Jimmy's picked up $700 here this year. Finished 20th at Phoenix. His mother and father are watching in Hartsville, Alabama. Jimmy's from Huntsville, Alabama. Boy, he really is a powerful bowler, isn't he?
But there would be a perfect shot to depict what we talk about cranking it. Terrific turn, an awful lot of fingers, and you could see that 5-pin whistle right through there.
And we're all even, you can see. He's 3 strikes apiece. And by the way, we're actually, the center here, Broadway Bowl, is in Littleton, Colorado, which is just south of Denver.
Oh! But maybe we'll have 2 300 games.
Well, so far it's going along pretty smoothly here. Blue shirt now is Earl Johnson, the veteran on the tour. He has 5 wins. Boy, they're knocking all the timber down.
But that's been pretty much the story here all week. It took 301 over to make the finals. It took 107 over to cash.
You cashed it, didn't you?
I'm very fortunate, Bud. I slipped in there and got a little check.
Is this 5 in a row? Oh! What happened on that one, Billy?
Well, Bud, he pulled the shot a little inside of his target. You'll see we have the 4, 7, 9, 10. He went to the center, 2 directly through. Now he's going to go to the left. Slide the 4.
Almost! Look at that 10. Look at it. Now, it did not top. Tremendous effort then by Earl Johnson.
That's one of the tough breaks, Bud. Executed perfectly, trying to slide that 4 into the 9 and the 10, and it went just a fraction in front of the 10.
Jimmy Certain trying for his 5th strike in a row. 16 ahead as you can see. Whoa, it looked a little heavy there, but he got away with it.
Well, where Earl got a tough break, Jimmy got a good one.
Big enthusiastic crowd here at the Broadway Bowl. Look at this game, will you? Jimmy Certain, 26 ahead. And they go again.
Bud, that's what we call a flower pot strike. When you go through, everything just separates. And that increases his lead to 36-10.
Earl Johnson now in the 6th frame. Left to 7. A good hit.
Yes, it was, Bud. After being high, when I say that high, we mean he catches too much of the head pin, goes through the nose of the triangle.
Good close-up of Earl Johnson there. You're watching this live. And in color, and this is the thing to watch right now, is Jimmy Certain coming up here after Earl Johnson gets through, because Jimmy Certain has 6 strikes in a row. Earl Johnson here trailing by 36-10.
There you see it, 114 in the 5th. Jimmy Certain with 6 in a row is still perfect. But there's the margin of difference. There was just a fraction of difference in the 5th frame where he left the 4, 7, 9, 10.
There's Jimmy Certain now. He has 6 in a row. He's trying for a 7th. And don't forget, if Jimmy Certain bowls a perfect game, he will receive a check for $10,000 from ABC and a Cougar from Lincoln Mercury. Oh! Drop, you dog, it doesn't. He had 6 in a row. He's trying for his 7th there.
He got a little arc in that shot like he did when he blew the 5 out in the previous frame on that right-hand lane. But that time the ball came back to finish a little higher into the pocket. And from that angle, the 6 didn't come off of the wall and catch the 10 for him.
He gets the spare here in the 7th, and he leads by 35. And if he keeps up this, he'll play Don Johnson in the 2nd match. 5th place money to the loser in this match goes $1,600, and to the winner goes $1,800, and the chance to move up and perhaps win the 1st place check of $6,000.
Solid again, Bud.
And Jimmy Certain leading here strongly. This is Jimmy Certain we're looking at in the 1st match here. He leads by 35 pins over Earl Johnson. Earl Johnson stepping up now in the right-hand lane. There's the score as it goes right now. Jimmy Certain really got us going off strong here with 6 strikes in a row. That's our leader, Jimmy Certain, and here's Earl Johnson. Had that tough split. You know, Earl Johnson has improved his game tremendously, and recently we asked him why.
I was going so bad, I just decided to change everything. The span of my ball about an inch, and from 4 inches to 5 inches. It was just the best move I ever made.
That's a good move, too. Fine move by Earl Johnson. See, it really paid off. Jimmy Certain now. He's in the 9th, leading by 15 now.
Big strike. Big strike, Bud. He couldn't afford an open, certainly wanted a mark, but the strike moves him back into a 25-pin lead.
What is different about the sweep of his motion as he comes down?
Well, he's what we
Looks
call
a little different.
in a cranking position. He has the arm behind the back and has a little cup, the wrist around the ball, which gives him more of a cranking motion so that he can go from left to right around the ball.
Sort of a hooking, sweeping
Right,
motion
he has
with his
a
arm.
sweeping motion.
Yeah,
there you see it. The arm around. That moves him back to a 35-pin lead, but he must continue striking to ensure victory. If he does not strike on this ball, Earl Johnson still has a chance to strike out in the 10th and win.
Jimmy here, checking the score. He leads by 35, as Billy Whaley just said.
But the good count on that ball will ensure him victory, because even if he misses that pin, he would have a 257 game. If he misses, if he converts 258, the best possible score that Earl Johnson can make is 254, and that's getting off and winging pretty strongly.
Jimmy Certain finishes, I believe, with, what, 268?
Right. I want to correct myself here. Norm Myers, our statistician,
Earl Johnson with another one.
just projects the score sheet, and it's 268 instead of 258.
Earl will pick up $1,600 for finishing fifth here.
But that was sort of a, well, I have to throw it, but I don't care, I've already lost type shot. It's kind of rough to shoot 240 and lose. Very happy to bowl a good game, but kind of dejected at losing.
Nice. And 242 for Earl Johnson. Jimmy Certain now moves a step closer to the first prize of $6,000 as he faces Don Johnson from Kokomo, Indiana. Okay, here we go now for our second